The Tower of Babel, an ancient structure so ambitious that it supposedly reached the heavens. According to the Bible, it was here that God scattered humanity across the earth, creating different languages to stop people from understanding one another. But did the Tower of Babel actually exist? Or is it just a biblical allegory? And if it did exist, where would we find it today? The story of the Tower of Babel comes from the book of Genesis, specifically Genesis chapter 11, verses 1 to 9. According to the Bible, after the Great Flood, all of humanity spoke a single language. As people migrated eastward, they settled in a plain in the land of Shinar, believed to be in Mesopotamia, in what is now Iraq. Here, the people decided to build a city and a tower with its top in the heavens, as a way to make a name for themselves and avoid being scattered across the earth. This ambition to reach the heavens is seen as an act of pride, challenging God's authority. The Bible describes how God came down to see the city and the tower, and, seeing their unity and ambition, decided to confuse their language. This made it impossible for them to understand one another, halting construction and scattering the people across the earth. If we look at ancient history, we see that the region mentioned in the Bible, Mesopotamia, was indeed home to some of the world's first cities and monumental architecture. The area is known for its ziggurats, which were large, tiered structures built by the ancient Sumerians, Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. These ziggurats were massive structures dedicated to gods and served as temples. Some scholars believe that the story of the Tower of Babel may have been inspired by one of these ziggurats. One prominent candidate is the Etemenanke, a massive ziggurat built in the ancient city of Babylon, which translates to House of the Foundation of Heaven and Earth. This structure is thought to have been dedicated to Marduk, the chief god of Babylon. Ancient texts describe Etemenanke as a 7-story tower that was over 90 meters, about 300 feet, tall. For people of the time, this was an incredible height, reaching up to the heavens, just as the Tower of Babel is described. Etemenanke was said to be visible from miles around, and its impressive height likely inspired awe and reverence, giving it a divine or otherworldly aura. However, the structure fell into disrepair over time, and by the 4th century BCE, it had been largely dismantled. Alexander the Great reportedly attempted to rebuild it but died before the project could be completed. Many biblical scholars argue that the Tower of Babel was likely meant to be an allegory rather than a literal event. In this interpretation, the story serves as a cautionary tale about human pride and the limits of human ambition. The story of Babel emphasizes themes of unity, pride, and divine intervention. In the ancient world, large-scale building projects often symbolized a ruler's power and the greatness of a civilization. However, the story of Babel warns against overreaching and trying to elevate oneself to a godlike status. By confusing the languages, God prevents people from achieving total unity through ambitious, potentially arrogant projects. This idea of divine intervention against human pride is a recurring theme in many religious and mythological traditions. Think of Icarus flying too close to the sun or the fall of Lucifer. The story may have been less about an actual tower and more about reminding humanity of its place in the universe. If we consider the possibility that the Tower of Babel was based on a real structure, there are several other theories about where it might have been located. Apart from Etemenanke in Babylon, some scholars suggest that it could have been located in another part of ancient Mesopotamia. One theory proposes that the ziggurat of Eridu, one of the oldest cities in Mesopotamia, may have been the original inspiration for the Tower of Babel. Eridu was a major religious center, and the ancient Sumerians believed it was the first city established by the gods. Archaeologists have found evidence of large-scale construction projects there that may have inspired later myths. What do you think? Was the Tower of Babel a real structure, a powerful metaphor, or perhaps a bit of both? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed exploring this ancient mystery, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to join us here at Mysteries and Histories. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.